Wondering what the current rave about FTX is all about? In this video, we bring you the latest crypto drama, the FTX scandal. You'll know why the company went bankrupt,
I have no money!
how its collapse impacted the wider crypto industry, and hear this, even Binance's hand in all this. And it might seem unrelated, but make sure to watch the whole video. We'll tell you why Taylor Swift is one lucky country girl. First of all, what is FTX? FTX stands for Futures Exchange, one of the world's largest crypto exchanges that has since gone so far under it might as well be an appetizer at Outback. It was founded in May 2019 by Sam Bankman-fried, or SBF in short, an MIT grad. You'd figure with a name like Bankman, he'd know how to handle money. Before its current predicament, more on that shortly, FTX allowed customers to trade over 300 crypto pairs, including BTC and USDT, ETH and USDT,
2,000 years later,
XRP and USDT, and its native token FTT and USDT. Not to forget, you could also trade crypto for fiat money. Think dollars, euros, and the sort. Now, while not many people knew what FTX was all about a few years back, people today at least know the name thanks to endorsements by some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment. See, back when Bitcoin was rallying and the crypto industry was thriving, FTX put out plenty of ads featuring celebrities such as Steph Curry, Tom Brady, and former wife Gisele Bündchen, Naomi Osaka, Trevor Lawrence, Shohei Ohtani, and Kevin O'Leary, to name a few. The goal? To lend credibility to FTX and thus drive you and me to invest in the platform. But the end of it is yet to come. FTX is currently the target of a class action lawsuit from a range of burned investors, and a number of major celeb names, including Brady, are attached to it. But perhaps the most fitting celebrity endorsement is Larry David. With that brief introduction to FTX out of the way, let's draw our attention to what we know regarding its bankruptcy. So on November 11th, 2022, FTX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the US. The announcement was made on FTX's official Twitter page and was followed by the revelation that SBF had effectively stepped down as CEO.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
And that John J. Ray III would assume his role. Spanning a whole 23 pages, the bankruptcy filing brought to light some very disturbing truths, including the fact that FTX had over 100,000 creditors, assets in the range of $10 billion to $50 billion, and liabilities in the range of $10 billion to $50 billion. That's right. Within a few days, the crypto exchange had gone from a $32 billion valuation to bankruptcy. But that was not the only thing that went down. SBF's net worth had also tumbled from about $16 billion to zero within days. So what happened?
Hey, what happened?
According to the new FTX chief, Mr. Ray, the company made countless missteps, including using software to hide the misappropriation of customers' funds, or for those of you not in the know, fraud.
You're a fake and a fraud.
Worse still, he revealed that the financial statements collected during SBF's time in charge were not as reliable. Mr. Ray also tried to offer customers some reprieve, though he fell spectacularly short. See, customers had locked up billions on the FTX platform, but he had only managed to secure $740 million worth of cryptocurrency. And sadly, Mr. Ray, the alligator's mouth, is not turned the right direction. Thought we learned that in 4th grade. Up next, let's see how FTX's bankruptcy affected the crypto industry. For the longest time, the crypto industry has struggled to prove itself to investors, regulators, and even regular customers like you and me. No one seems to consider it a trustworthy venture.
I can't trust you.
Given that, FTX's collapse stirred even greater scrutiny in the crypto space, with FTX itself becoming the first target. See, the Justice Department and the Securities and Exchange Commission launched investigations into FTX, specifically trying to uncover whether FTX used customer funds to support Alameda research, a trading firm that SBF also founded, which I don't know why they'd think that. He seems like such a trustworthy guy. What else has been affected? Back in May, when the cryptocurrency market crashed and lost $2 trillion, FTX stepped in to offer a lifeline to several troubled firms. For this reason, FTX's collapse has also had a ripple effect that's been felt across the entire crypto sphere, which is kind of like the MCU, but for crypto. Excellent examples here are lenders like Genesis and BlockFi, which have announced pauses in operations after FTX imploded. It's also important to note that the price of FTT, a native crypto token for FTX, has dipped more than 90% since November 8th. Elsewhere, Bitcoin's price has tanked, but it seems the worst is yet to come. According to a veteran investor, Mark Mobius, the big boy of crypto could crash to $10,000, a more than 40% plunge from current prices. Ether, the second largest crypto, is also down. Enjoying the video so far? Great! Before we go on, be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Now, let's take a step back and examine how trouble began at FTX.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone?
Now, FTT, which, as mentioned earlier, is the native token for the FTX platform, has grown massively in popularity since its launched a little over 3 years ago. At its peak in 2021, the token traded for as high as $78. And a day before the first sign of trouble, Zhao's tweet, "Don't worry, we'll come to this shortly," it was trading at $22. This is not too bad given the entire crypto market has been struggling for months now, and it's easy to see why it was so popular so fast. Token holders were, for one, promised low trading costs. They were also enticed with interest and rewards like fee waivers, so people quickly acquired the token for transactions. But like many other tokens before it, FTT was hugely unregulated and so quite volatile when markets acted up. So the worst came to pass. In just a day, it had plummeted below $5, wiping out a ridiculous $2 billion in value, and the token has continued to fall since then, currently trading at a paltry $1.40 according to CoinMarketCap. You can't even buy a coffee for that.
No milk, no nuts, no coffee, no tea, no chocolate.
Well, a good one in America at least. And it all started on November 2nd. CoinDesk released a report that unmasked Alameda Research's books. Alameda Research is a cryptocurrency trading company linked to FTX in that Sam Bankman-fried also runs it. Apparently, the company balance sheet was made up of mostly FTT tokens rather than actual money. So, how did this affect FTX? Well, the way SBF had set up and was running the two companies meant that if there was trouble in one, then the other was for sure in the same boat. Now, Binance happens to be one of the biggest FTT holders, as in 2021, Changpeng Zhao, who happens to be Binance's chief executive, had relinquished his FTX stake to SBF in a $2.1 billion deal that saw him get paid in part with FTT. Fast forward 4 days later, on November 6th, Binance announced on Twitter that it was offloading all of its FTX tokens due to recent revelations that have came to light. While Binance explained in subsequent tweets that it would offload slowly over a couple of months to minimize market impact, the damage was already done. FTT prices began rapidly dropping as investors started to withdraw their money. Now FTX was running overtime, processing thousands of withdrawals, and in just 3 days, about $6 billion had been withdrawn. Come November 8th, there was a sign of hope for FTX as Binance announced that it would acquire it, but with a caveat. It retained the freedom to pull out of the deal whenever it wished. Still, this promise seemed to give SBF hope, and he promised customers protection, even going as far as guaranteeing them that their withdrawals would be processed in due time. And so, any rumors of a conflict brewing between the two rivals were dispelled. Well, for some hours at least. In the wake of November 9th, Binance announced that it would not go through with the deal. Reason? The company cited corporate due diligence as the motivation, on top of financial mismanagement. In other words, it literally just looked at the situation. So FTX, which was already facing financial struggles behind the scenes, started facing severe liquidity issues, and having no money to fulfill all the customers' requests, the company filed a Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the US on November 11th. New, shocking revelations come up in the days that follow. Of course, the abrupt collapse of FTX came as a shock to many. Not only did it happen in a matter of a few days, but it left everyone wondering what happened to this billion-dollar-worth company. But shortly after filing for bankruptcy, it would emerge that FTX apparently transferred a whopping $10 billion in customer funds to Alameda Research. 2 days later, almost all the money that had been moved out of FTX had disappeared into thin air. Well, not that crypto companies are used to dealing with physical cash to begin with. These events got the regulators' attention, so they're currently looking into the company, but SBF hasn't been arrested, at least not yet. And he actually is said to be enjoying himself in a penthouse in the Bahamas. That doesn't mean he's not feeling the heat. Well, the metaphorical heat, not the beach heat. There's a class action lawsuit by US crypto investors against him and some FTX celebrity endorsers, some of whom we mentioned earlier in the video, in Miami courts. Remember what we said about Taylor Swift being lucky? Well, here we are. As SBF blew FTX's money on dollars on celebrity endorsements, without a care, it was only a matter of time before he would find himself in an unpleasant financial situation. When the worst came to be, he was forced to look for funding elsewhere, even if it meant a popular country girl, Taylor Swift. The word is that SBF lobbied aggressively for a partnership with 11-time Grammy Award winner Taylor Swift. The deal, which would have cost the now bankrupt firm more than $100 million over 3 years, was almost happening before it fell apart in the spring. Now, in retrospect, this is good news for Miss Swift, seeing as her name is not muddled due to the association with the troubled exchange. But man, that would have made for a hell of a breakup and lawsuit album. That's basically all about FTX collapse in a nutshell. But the story is still developing. So what do you think about FTX's collapse? Was it because the people at the helm were young and inexperienced, making it a case of naivety, or were they just ignorant and careless and so they should take responsibility? Let us know in the comments. Like the video too if you enjoyed it. For more informative videos like this, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on notifications.